Hey, I'm going to show you some amazing stuff. Fox News had to spend the day yesterday covering this historic, record breaking heat wave in the United States, in Europe. They had to do it. They had to cover the story because it was such a major story without talking about climate change and the fact that for decades now, we are seeing more and more higher high temperatures, record high temperatures, extreme heat and extreme cold and extreme weather events, all of which a comprehensive climate change model would predict and expect. This is just wild, wild stuff. So let's start with some of the images that appeared on Fox News. And they don't mention climate change. They talk about it's hot, but they don't talk about the relationship to climate change. Excess heat. Parts of U.S. face warnings and advisories. Major story on Fox News. No mention of climate change. Drought monitor. Exceptional drought. Arid conditions carry tinderbox effect. Of course, very high fire risk. Another aspect of climate change and how climate change can influence it can influence the amount of land you have that is potentially useful for growing food when these fires run through. Okay, we've talked about it before. Drought monitor. Dallas, triple digit temperatures, weather conditions forecast to continue. Insane temperatures in Dallas, including highs of 109 and 108 this week. All of these stories didn't mention climate change once. Now, I know it's Fox News. But still, it is notable that they go out of their way not to talk about climate change. Let's look at a segment. This is Brett Baer from Fox News.
Breaking tonight, much of Europe is experiencing record temperatures as a brutal heat wave rolls through the continent. Britain shattered its all-time record with a reading of 104.4 degrees Fahrenheit, of course, at Heathrow Airport. London's mayor says the temperatures are causing a huge surge in the number of fires in the city. One grass fire in Wennington required more than 100 firefighters to come to that scene. Ferocious wildfires continue in southwestern France. More than 2,000 firefighters have been deployed there. Tens of thousands of people have been evacuated. Nearly 750 health-related deaths have already been reported in Spain and neighboring Portugal. More than 30 forest fires around Spain have forced thousands of evacuations. Many parts of this country also dealing with record heat. Robert Ray of Fox Weather has specifics from Round Rock, Texas, which can't be cool.
By the way, remember, Fox Weather is the new Fox News weather channel. That's a whole other thing where it's the version. I mean, listen, they do some weather, but it's the way to now make weather political, and we've talked about that before as well. Let's continue.
Good evening, Robert.
Good evening, Brett. I found a little shade here in the Lone Star State, and I will say over 100 million people across the U.S. are experiencing excessive heat warnings. Not a good situation. 60 million of those people, Brett, are in the lower Mississippi Valley, the Southern Plains, and here in Texas. Dallas, the Big D, expected to be about 110 soon. Oklahoma City actually did hit 110 degrees. It's the first time since August of 2011, and the state capital of Austin, about 110, San Antonio, El Paso, even over to Shreveport, Louisiana, Brett.
Wow.
And you see that big orange ball. That is the sun.
That is the sun, folks. Do not be confused. That orange ball is indeed the sun. Now, a reasonable question would be, is there anything systemic going on that might be leading to us doing this every summer? Every summer saying record high, never seen before. Now, you might come back and say, but David, I thought weather wasn't climate. And you are correct. An individual weather event is not the same thing as climate. A single stronger than usual, unseasonably late hurricane doesn't really tell us anything about what's happening with the climate. But multiple decades of higher high temperatures, lower low temperatures, unseasonably warm, unseasonably cold, stronger and stronger hurricanes during hurricane season. All of those things, not just one day, start to tell us about the climate of a place and whether the climate is changing. So a weather event would be, a crazy heat wave in New York City one time. The change of climate would be Every summer, the average temperature in New York City, as well as the number of days that reach triple digits, goes up. And you observe that over multiple decades. Now we're talking about a change to the climate of a place that goes beyond an individual event. It's sort of like the same thing I talked about. It was either last week or the week before. Why is it that anecdotal evidence is bad? Well, it's not so much that anecdotal evidence is bad when it's comprehensively collected, systematized, and used to ascertain patterns. But then it's no longer anecdotal. Then it's how we gather data. Individual anecdotes, insufficient anecdotes, out of context anecdotes are what aren't useful. So that's what's going on. This is the exact pattern that is predicted by climatologists: erratic weather, unseasonable weather, records of different kinds, stronger storms, drought, et cetera, et cetera. That's exactly what's happening. And Fox News, because it's Fox News, doing everything they can not to talk about climate until nighttime. And I won't even get into this, but then at night, they started ridiculing the climate change believers, the people that accept science, with stuff like liberals shocked that it's hot in the summer, which of course kind of misses the point. We'll keep talking about it. The heat wave will continue, and we'll actually have more about this on the bonus show. Many of us know what it's like to have acne show up when we least want it to. You should have seen me in middle school. Now I'm on camera, and I really do the best I can to keep my skin clear. And for that, I go to Apostrophe, our sponsor, on the Apostrophe website. You just answer a few questions, take a couple pictures of your skin, and then you have a virtual visit with a board-certified dermatologist who will create a personalized treatment plan. They quickly ship you the prescription medication. I can tell you that when it comes to acne, you're better off with a dermatologist. There are all sorts of different kinds of acne that need different types of treatment. The over-the-counter stuff was not what worked for me. Apostrophe makes it simple and quick. I've had a great experience with Apostrophe myself. You get affordable, quality medical treatment from a licensed dermatologist and prescription meds that actually work, but I can do it all on my phone. I don't have to spend hours in a doctor's office. My audience gets $15 off your first dermatology visit. Go to apostrophe.com/Pacman and use the code Pacman. The link is in the description.